Hey guys, it's Rob over at Lorob. As you know, being a business owner, my time is very limited. So I tried this year to invest in things that will save us time and make me more effective as a beekeeper. Some of the big things, or the biggest thing so far that I've done, is get hive scales on a handful of our production colonies. I spent quite some time doing a lot of digging around, and it ended up that the company that I chose was at the North America Honeybee Expo this year, but our booth was so busy that I didn't have time to catch up with them. So that was a misconnection. However, the owner was awesome to talk to on the phone. That whole process was great, and I went ahead and purchased with them. And the company is Solution B. They've been around for quite some time. The reason why I chose them was the products are really rugged. I wanted it to be kind of a one-time buy, kind of like our products. I tend to shoot for the quality aspect because I don't want to have to rebuy in a few years, and that was kind of my mindset here. Another one of the things that I really liked was, they had a piece where I could have cellular integration per yard, and I could have 100 and some colonies off of just one cell signal. So if you only have a colony or two, it's very hard to justify the cellular signal, but we have a handful. I hope to expand this. I started with 10 of these devices, and so far I've been very happy with it. So anyway, I just want to pop over here and show you guys kind of what I'm seeing as far as today is March 17th of 24 in Baltimore. I want to figure out a way to make these kind of public for you guys, so you guys can kind of see what our colonies are doing and that kind of thing as we move forward. I think it's something cool. Being the beekeeper that I am and liking to tinker and experiment, I kind of want to be able to share that information with you all, and it's really just fascinating. So I'm going to jump over. So you'll notice here that I have only five of the colonies hooked up. This one is one of the ones out at the main yard that's behind our original shop at my grandfather's house. That one is not connected to Wi-Fi or cellular. So with the handy app, I get it within Bluetooth range. I can have it upload the data. It logs it all for a very long time. I forget the details, but the batteries on them run for like 2 years without replacement or what have you. So they're very, very good in that regard. But I just haven't made it out there yet recently to do that. That's why this one looks so different. Anyway, that being said, across our 5, you'll see a lot of these ups and downs. I'm going to go in here to this 10 frame double deep, which is currently 144 pounds. No, I did not take honey last year. I took some, but not a lot. I really tend to try and keep a lot on the colony. Normally I'll backfeed, but really I'll admit it, poor time management. I really don't have time to get out and pick what day's best to harvest honey, when we're at our peak nectar flow and when it's finally fallen off. So I just don't have the time to manage them right. So in fear of me taking too much and starving them and not having this kind of insight, I tend to lean on the side of caution and leave a bit more than I should. And hopefully with these scales, I'll be able to be more comfortable with it and make an assessment based on what's going on. So anyway, going into this colony, I can hit data. It'll load here. And this is within let's do the last week, which is what this is. So you'll notice the green line that's through here. I know I'm moving quite fast. The green line is your outside air temperature. All the scales take an outside air temperature and log it every, let's see, I think it's every hour. Yes, everything is logged to every hour and extremely precise. So if you look at the hive scale, where I have it sitting right now, is at 144.14 pounds. So it's very precise. And he told me when it snows, when it rains, all those outside variables, when leaves are on top of the boxes, it reads all of that, which leads to very, very, very precise data, which is just awesome to me. Being the IT guy in a former life that I am, I love every bit of this. So what you're seeing here is, as we're going throughout the day, let's see where our, this is midnight here on the 13th. As we start getting into the day and warming up, you'll see that the bees are consuming some weight here, but again, we're counting a loss of eating as about 0.4 of a pound. So almost a half a pound of resources they consumed overnight, give or take, maybe a little more if we go all the way back to when they were done flight for the day. But you'll notice here that it drops a lot faster. So we went from 144.3 pounds to at 11 a.m. we went to 143.85. So we lost whatever that is, about a half pound, 3/4 pound of bees as foragers, which is what that is. So all these big movements like that are foragers. So then we have, as our foragers came back in throughout the day, actually this may actually have been a rain day now that I'm looking at it, because we picked up 2 pounds there. No, it's not. So we had a flow. Let me look at my time here. So that would be March 13th at 1900. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think that's about 7 p.m. So that was actually a flow. So we had an increase from 144 pounds up to 145. So the colony, this one colony, produced 1 pound of resources into the colony during that time. As long as it wasn't raining and that kind of thing, I'll have to look and see. But based on how the temperature is up and all that, this looks like a pretty nice day. We've had a string of nice days, which is why I wanted to look at this. This here looks like a rain day to me, where the bees really didn't fly a lot, where they were, really dialed into staying in the box. Temperature came up, not as high. That's why I think that's a rain day. So anyway, that's kind of the insight that you can have. I'm going to back this out to the 1 month window, because this is where it starts getting interesting. 1 month. Yeah. So you'll see we've had a slow decrease of winter stores. This goes back to February 18th. We are March 18th currently. And we've been waiting for good weather to where the bees start flying. And again, we're not, this graph does not show going from 150 pounds down to 0. What it shows is that you're going down to, whatever it is. If you fluctuate by 0.5, then the whole screen's going to be 0.5. If, you fluctuate by 50 pounds because you pulled a super, it's going to include a 50-pound fluctuation, and the rest of the line's going to be small. So just something to keep in mind. It's not that the colony's running out of food. It's just simply that it's decreasing during that time. And you can see that down here in the bottom with this kind of bar graph style. We've got a lot of red, a lot of green, but if you notice, not a lot of green through here, which, could be attributed to like rainy days and that kind of thing. But then all of a sudden we start getting some real nice weather. Again, 70 degrees, that kind of thing, holding strong. And in here, we're actually having a pretty decent time with the bees are pulling something in. It's not crazy. It's not a lot, but they're pulling something in. We're not on the decrease. We went from falling. Again, not a lot, but now they're kind of holding their own. Now we're kind of kicking off the bee season here in Baltimore. But the neat part is, because of these hive scales from Solution Bee, I get to go, hey, this really started on March 12th for us. I have a day. I have a day where the season started. That's awesome. So then hopefully, as we start going up and up and up, and I'm like, yeah, somewhere around July 4th is generally where I know in my area to pull my spring flow, spring honey that is, for collection. Now I'll be able to go, all right, well, we started with this as a colony weight. I think I was high by, this colony, I think I'm high by about 50 pounds of honey or so. But I'll be able to go, okay, well, that plateaued. We had a few days now where it's stagnant. This is my perfect day to pull. And it'll fluctuate a few days every year. But that's what I'm really excited for. So I can go in and take a honey harvest and be spot on the date that, I was supposed to pull, because I don't really have the time to go out and be in every colony every other day. And, even then you're looking at a box and going, yeah, we're looking pretty good. Things are getting capped, that kind of thing. but you're not really getting a true statistical number where you can have a definite, this is the day. So it's cool. So anyway, so I'm going to show you one more thing. I'm going to back out here. I'm going to go to this all hives data button. So what the all hives data button does, now granted I have the one I haven't scanned in a while, but it would update all this time if I did scan it. But all it does is it shows all of your numbers added up across all the colonies. And I think it's your averages on outside air temperature, if I'm not mistaken. And that does look like it's the case, because here we can see a drop off here. Again, all these are at the same yard, so it's not like I have some that are in like Florida and some that are in Maine, for example. So they all have about the same air temperature, which is why this kind of makes sense. But anyway, we've got 519 pounds across 5 colonies in a yard currently, and you can see that we've been slowly increasing. You know, our peak here was 524, our peak here was 529, so we made almost 5 pounds of resources across 5 colonies in one day. That's pretty neat. It's just neat to look at. And it's neat to understand what the colonies are doing and when, because it lets me be a better beekeeper by having more information, access to more information. So I like a lot of that. So if I come back here and I go back to our 1 month window like I just showed, see if I can't, oh, I forgot to hit select. Oh, nope, 1 month. Maybe it'll go, maybe it won't. I think it's fighting me currently. Oh wow, that's all over the place. Oh, this is because I have an error screen because I'm showing you guys live. Let's see if we get some. So our low across the board was 517 on those 5 colonies. If I had it widescreen, this would look a lot better, so I do apologize. And our peak so far is 513. Though every evening they're eating resources, we're really not in a flow time. There are some things that are blooming, but not the heavy lifters. The maples and all that stuff aren't really kicking off in full force yet. I think another like 2 weeks, something like that, we're really going to be in the flow. I got to go out and do a whole bunch of things to the bees. I'm hoping to do that this coming week. But anyway, that being said, I'm going to start wrapping this up. I just wanted to give you guys a little peek and show my excitement, I guess, because I love what I'm seeing here. That spring is coming, and spring is here in the bee yard. Even though I'm not able to see it actively, I'm able to, I guess, actively see it because now we can do it through these hive scales. So I think that's a great thing. It's something worth considering. Even if you have one colony that you put on a hive scale that's like by your house, you can connect to Wi-Fi, save some money, that kind of thing. But it will give you insight into generally what the whole yard's doing. The reason why I chose to go with 10 is I plan to run a bunch of experiments this year. I really want to dive into why I do these processes as a beekeeper and refine my procedure and share with you all. I want to get better at testing for mites. I want to get better at my treatment regimen. I want to be able to educate you guys in a lot more areas throughout what I do and, you know, be a better beekeeper. And this is part of my quest to it. So that's how it goes. But anyway, we have a lot of things that are going on here at the Lorobi's headquarters. That's kind of what I'm calling it now because I enjoy it. But anyway, the Lorobi's headquarters is going to be a huge thing. It already is. We've got a lot of things that are coming for the YouTube channel. So if you guys are in the market for something new to watch, if you haven't already, I would really appreciate if you would subscribe to the channel. I really think we're going to have a lot of quality content and a lot of great information to be shared this coming beekeeping season. So anyway, with that, I'll leave you to it. Good luck with your bees, and I will catch you in the next one.